Hello, everyone. Good day, good morning, and welcome to Secure the Job JA Part 2, the virtual job fair. My name is Jason Brown. I am your host and convener, and I'm just here to facilitate the awesomeness that is bound to happen today. I am just floored at the amount of persons that we have online so far, and you are all on time. So, in your own little spaces, clap yourselves. It's a good thing to see. If you can turn your cameras on, please do so. We want this to be as interactive as possible and for you to benefit in the best way that you can. Let me also stop to welcome all the persons who are online on YouTube at Life Lessons with Jason. Thank you so much for joining. You won't be able to see the entire conference, but we're giving you a little snippet of what will happen today. This event is monumental, it is special, and we're literally making magic, and we're bringing convenience to you right here. For persons who knew about Secure the Job Part 1, I can see there are many persons here who were participants at Secure the Job JA Part 1. We spoke about interview tips, resume ideas, creative portfolios, your cover letter. We sought to equip you with the right tools and advice to get the job. No, it was never really a thought in my mind if Part 2 would have been a thing. But I said, why not bring jobs to people? We normally have job fairs physically. COVID is really hampering how we can move about. But how about a virtual job fair? So we have amazing recruiters who are online today. We have Sagicor Jamaica, who will be recruiting for jobs. We have Digital Jamaica Limited. And we also have Talent Box Caribbean with a plethora of jobs for persons to get. So if you want jobs, the jobs are here. Put your best foot forward. Jobs are here for you. And we love that. So let me also stop to highlight our sponsors as well. We have Design Central, who did the lovely artwork for us. We have Flourishment Care, my very own brand, who sponsors my beard. So gentlemen, if you're looking for a nice beard like that, the details will be coming to you shortly. We have Let's Talk Money with Carlton. We have Statement Pieces by Chris for my lovely blazer right here. Looks good, no? Yes, Statement Pieces by Chris. We have Terrace Cosmetics. We have Shaniga Brooks. We have TAC Management Services and so many well-wishers. And I cannot move forward without thanking you all for being here. All the lovely participants, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to have this trending on social media. So you can use the hashtag SecureTheJobJA. You're encouraged to tweet your takeaways, post them on Instagram, do your screenshots, whatever it is, and just spread the word using the hashtag SecureTheJobJA. Before we go into our breakout rooms, we have a lovely guest presenter this morning. His name is Joel Darkham, and he is a journalist and marketer. He'll be speaking to you in brief about how to network and how to be visible. Before you go into the breakout rooms where you can actually speak and interact with the recruiters, he's going to give you tips about how you can make the experience as wholesome as possible. So again, you're encouraged to ask questions. You're encouraged to give your feedback. No questions are stupid, but we are live streamed. So please, ask the best questions and try to phrase them as bestly as you can. So for persons who are wondering, Secure the Job JA, how did this come about? I always speak about my story. And if you follow my YouTube channel, you would have known that in 2020, I was laid off from my job in the pandemic. And it was a very hard time for me. To summarize, I was unemployed for 7 months. In that 7 months, I did interviews, I sent out resumes, I got callbacks, I met with CEOs, managers, everybody, but nothing would have worked for me in that instance. And so being in a place now where I am employed as a director at a children's village in Jamaica, I am seeking to leverage my experiences to help other persons make better choices and to grow and achieve things as well. The space was so filled with many unemployment stories, many bad job experiences. And so I just want to make an impact the best way I can. So that is really the idea behind Secure the Job JA Part 1 and Part 2. It's not my intention to be long before you today, but I love interaction. And although we can't see each other, I want you to just use the reaction button at the bottom or the bottom of your screen, yes, and just give a clap, give a cheer, just wave to someone, just say, I'm going to enable the chat right now so you can just say welcome in the chat, say hello, tell us your name. If you're on YouTube, do the same thing. Let's just build the atmosphere with positivity as we move forward. So I have my lovely recruiters online. So right now, I'm going to ask Miss Tracy and Scott Brown from Sagicor just to enter the room and to give us her greetings at this time.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jason. I want to say thank you for inviting us to this event. I love the initiative that you have come up with. I believe it's something that's very awesome. A lot of young persons out there are seeking, people in general are out there seeking jobs, and they need some guidance, they need some direction. So I love the fact that you came up with something like this. I am happy that it's happening. It's something that I would have loved to have done, but I mean, you can imagine from my desk, it's not something that's possible. So I'm happy that you came up with something like this for us all to be able to participate and interact with the persons that are out there. I want to welcome everyone to this session today, and to make the most of it, take the advice that's coming as they are. Be true to who you are, and truly assess yourself as you go about, as you hear about the job opportunities that the recruiters who are here today will be sharing with you. Make the most of it, make wise decisions. As Jason said, there are many opportunities, but make the decision that is best for you and the career path that you want to go on. And I just look forward to everything that is going to be happening, to meeting the persons that are on the platform today. I love the numbers. We are almost at 200. So I'm really looking forward to interacting with persons today. And I am hoping that a lot of vacancies that Sagicor has, I can say I'll pull them down because of the interaction that we're having here today. So just make the most of the day. Thank you again, Jason, for inviting us.
Thank you so much, Tracy. And I love what you said. The aim is to have Sagicor pull down those vacancies today, as persons in this room will be so blessed to receive jobs. We also have lovely sponsors on, and one such is a young man. His name is Joel McIntyre. He started a business that allows persons to receive help with their resumes, with their curriculum titles, all of that. So I'm going to be inviting Mr. Joel McIntyre just to come on in and to speak about his business, Scripted JA, and the offerings they have and how they can support you as you go on your journey for employment.
All right, so good morning, everyone. I am Joel McIntyre. I am the CEO and founder of Scripted Jamaica. And as Jason said, trust me, I'm very happy to be here this morning, happy to be a sponsor. And what I'll be doing, I'll be sharing with you just what we offer here at Scripted Jamaica. All right, so allow me to share my screen just for a short moment. All right, Jason. Trying to get your privilege to share the screen.
All right, you should have that privilege. It's not happening.
All right, thank you. All right, Jason, so I am able to share my screen, and can everybody see my Instagram profile? Right? So this right here is basically what we do here at Scripted Jamaica, where we will do your resumes, we will revamp your resumes, your cover letters, curriculum vitae. Also, we help with your professional and academic documents. So research papers, scripts, anything that you see fit for us to revamp, to do over, to do, we will be here to give you all of that assistance. We also offer tutoring for those who want help in the areas of English and mathematics. We do simple stuff like that, and it is at a very cheap cost, very, very cheap cost. It starts at the price for a resume, $2,000. So we know it's not a hefty cost, it's not 10, it's not 5, just $2,000. We have a well-equipped staff. We have some of the best writers here who have graduated from prestigious universities and colleges. So guys, I hope that this morning you will enjoy this session with Jason, enjoy Secure a Job JA, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Joel. Let me come back on the screen. All right, so there you have it, everyone. I hope you follow Scripted JA on Instagram. So if you want help getting that resume together, getting that cover letter together, they're available there to help you do that. Now, before we go into the speaking aspect of everything, I just want to get some ground rules across the board. If you do have the privilege to unmute your mics, please keep them muted until they're acknowledged to unmute and to speak. And let us use the chat to be as productive as possible when you're given access to use the chat. Now, to recap, before we even go into networking, let's do some quick checklist. Everyone here should have a working cover letter and resume. Okay, let's get that right out of the way right now. Everyone out here should have a working and ready cover letter and resume. Cool. Everyone should also have a professional email address. All right. You don't want to see no good as Tracy or a nice body Simpson. No. We want to see some nice professional email addresses today. And again, you're being encouraged to ask the right questions, to put yourself out there, and to capitalize on this experience as much as is possible. So before we go, I saw that someone had raised their hands. It was Mr. Bailey, I believe. Is it a question that you have, Sir Bailey? No. All right. So before we go into the speaking for today, I am going to enable the chat real quickly, and I want you just to type, let me know your expectations from the session today. What do you expect to take from being a part of Secure the Job JA Part 2? Let me just read a few of them really quickly. So in the chat, let me know what your intentions are so that we can put that out there and hopefully meet them. I'm seeing Chantal Wellington. Welcome. It's lovely having you here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Ricardo wants a work. All right. To secure a job to learn what recruiters are looking for. All right. Getting a job to get employed in my field. All right. Oh, lovely. Obtaining a job in marketing. My expectations that I'll be employed after. All right. My expectation is to learn how to secure a job successfully. Someone's expecting money. I want to transition from my field. I expect to secure a job and learn more about the business field to secure a job, to understand what employers are looking for and hopefully getting a job. That's important as well, guys. We have to understand and appreciate what employees are looking for that specific job. Someone is here to network. That's amazing. networking and professional development, and also a job at Sagicor. Tracy, I think that one is for you, the job at Sagicor. To obtain a job in human resource, all right? To be in the know, to network and secure a job. Okay, lovely. Networking and developing a more professional portfolio, all right? To network, want a job and more experience in a different field, all right? To get a job suitable for someone who just got their degree and needs experience. Lovely. Congratulations on that degree. It's a good accomplishment. To secure a job, my expectation is to learn the things needed to secure a good job. Networking, how to network better, all right? I expect to grow my knowledge and ability to be able to secure a great job in my field of interest. Or so somebody wants to know how to make themselves marketable. Lovely. To get the necessary tools and equipment that will help me to secure a job, to develop my professional portfolio. You may want to look at part 1 on my YouTube channel. Someone is here for networking and employment, to secure a job in my field and also learn what's expected from employers. All right. Another person expects to learn how to prepare and ace interviews. I would love a great job in communications as well. I expect to secure a job that allows me to facilitate professional growth. Lovely. How to network, a job. To obtain a job at Sagicor, Tracy, and that's for you as well. To understand what employers are looking for. To gain experience. Awesome. Wow. New opportunities is the interaction for me. My expectation is to secure a job and to understand what employers are looking for, and also to network, to secure employment. Wow, thank you so much, everyone, for commenting and for leaving what you expect to see happen before you leave. Being fresh out of university, I want to understand what are the things recruiters are looking for, and also to get a job in marketing or human resource. I want to try my best to gain new opportunities. And that is what we are expecting you to leave with today. To make use of this opportunity, to be as wholesome as possible, to ask your questions, to make notes. And even if you don't leave with a job, appreciate the experience, learn from it, go back and make things better, and try again to enhance my opportunity for employment. All right. And just to make you aware, we do have your email addresses and your contact information, and that will be shared with the recruiters after this conference, just in the event they are seeking to fill additional vacancies that would not have been filled in this forum. Is Denton here? Denton, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. It's almost your time, but I'm just checking. All right, so be made aware that, all right, so how it will go is we're going to go into our speaking session very shortly. And then thereafter, for the persons who are watching on YouTube, unfortunately, the feed will be cut because you can't have the breakout room process happening on YouTube. So you're invited to come over. We do have some spaces left. You are invited to come over. We can facilitate 500 persons on Zoom today. And we had over 500 persons who registered for this conference today. So there's space here and you can come and make your mark. Also, right after the networking session with Joel Darkham, we're going to be moving into a Q&A session. And then from there, we will end the feed on YouTube, and then you will see a notification on your screen to join a breakout room. You're going to be seeing all the recruiters we have available today, and you can join any room you want to join. And in that room, you will be entertained by that recruiter. So I'm going to be asking Mr. Denton Dunkley to come at this time and to introduce our speaker, Mr. Joel Darkham.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. All right, so I'll just go with the introduction of our speaker. Joel is recognized as a creative and eccentric marketer, bringing over 6 years of experience to the marketing and communication space. He bridges the gap between corporate marketing and personal brand building, Kicking off his early days in marketing as an intern, he now works as head of social and digital brand at a leading Caribbean brand. Joel specializes in social media marketing with a heavy focus on strategy, analytics, campaign development, and creative direction. He spent over 2 years as a television presenter and now writes for international publications, Adweek, and Social Media Examiner. He's also an avid youth advocate, having spent much of his time in leadership roles or involved in volunteer projects. He has been recognized countless times for his work. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you our speaker or presenter for today in the person of Joel Nahum Darkum. Please meet him with your virtual greetings.
Yeah, virtual greetings, excitement. First of all, I am blown away by the number of folks on here. Like this is just so good, which means that I need to ensure that I provide some really valuable information. But firstly, let me just say a big thank you to Jason Brown for extending this invitation to me. So here's the thing, I don't really, I've limited a lot of speaking engagements a lot of times because, being so busy and having so many different things to handle. And when Jason reached out, it was an immediate yes, because I think what Jason is doing in this space is revolutionary. It is putting job seekers with the right people at the right time. This has been such a magnificent way to pivot how employment is done. And I just want to give a big shout out to Jason for organizing this and inviting me to come and share, some degree of expertise that I might have. Thanks for that wonderful introduction, Denton. Sometimes it's so awkward, like sitting down and just listening to somebody talk about you and what you do. But, we have to get comfortable with that as well, which is something that we all have to be comfortable with as well. And of course, big ups to everybody in the chat. I see people over there. I see Tracy and I see Alex. I see Deborah, yeah, big up on yourself. Anyway, so it's work day, so I'm kind of teeth out to come and just drop some gems with you guys. And I'm just going to get straight to the presentation. I don't know, Jason, if you want to present it from your end or I should share my screen.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, perfect, no problem. All right, let me just get this up here. And a big part of even what we're working on as it pertains to job security, networking plays such a critical role, like super critical. And you guys can let me know if you see my screen, so I can start.
Yes, we're seeing.
Oh, you're not seeing the wall of my business. You just see the screen, right?
We're seeing all your tabs.
Oh, all right. Well, is a work day. Let me try and make sure that it's in a more visible state though, because I want to make sure so you guys seeing the full screen and the full everything. So a big part of networking. Okay, good now.
Yes, we
are.
All
right, perfect. So a big part of job security has so much to do with networking, and sometimes we hear or we see tweets or we see posts or we see different things talking about links being something that brings you through the world. No, I'm always of the opinion that this thing is not necessarily about links per se, but probably that's the Jamaican way of calling it links. But networking is such a critical part of not even just about jobs, seeking jobs, but just about building a community, forming a common understanding around a cause that you might care about, as well as just having an appreciation for understanding people, an appreciation for getting out there, and an appreciation for adding value to somebody else's initiative based on the interests or the areas that you might have as a part of, the decision-making process. And, networking is so fundamental because it gets you through doors, it gets you kicked out through doors, because through networking, sometimes people believe that you're the only person focused on a specific activity when there are also other parties networking as well, which can also be an area or avenue where discussions take place through networking. So you disrespect somebody who you don't know, and that person is friend with somebody else who you're trying to land a job with, and guess what happened? You're kicked through the door before you even make it. So look at networking as a overarching strategy that requires both you doing something to improve or enhance what you're doing, and also bearing in mind that others are also doing the same thing, which may cause or help your overall networking approach. And we're going to get straight into the presentation now. Yeah, great to meet you guys. That's me. That's my little avatar right there. But I put these two pictures here because they're very special to me. And all of this happened because of networking. So last year I would have co-founded a movement called Black Kings Rising, which is an initiative to empower and celebrate Black excellence among our males, and also used as a vehicle to kind of encourage men to stop with the toxic masculinity thinking, etc. And I would have worked on two projects, one of the featured faces project and a Father's Day project. This didn't happen just because I come up with a project idea. This happened because I networked with other creatives. So if you follow me on Twitter, I'm always up to something in the creative space, always doing some networking. And these projects happen because of networking. And I put them there because it's so important for you to understand that networking also is so critical when it comes down to finding like-minded individuals and actually initiating something. So I had a creative idea. I couldn't do it myself. I networked with the creatives and we were able to produce these two. And now we're in meetings and talks to produce some other ones for International Men's Day. But this happened as a result of networking. And I use these creative projects because sometimes we have networking as only like a business specific thing. And you need to understand that the world is changing, and a big part of adapting is understanding the value in creativity, which can also help.
Joel, 1 second. We're not seeing the presentation moving.
Yeah, man, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I still on it. The pictures are really nice, so I'll have to look at them.
Oh, we're not even seeing that screen either.
Oh, you're not seeing that screen either?
No.
1 second. Let me just try and get that fixed. It's saying that my screen is paused. How are we now?
Still not seeing. No.
Still not seeing? Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me fix that. Was it there before or it just chipped out? One second, let me just get that back up. 1 second. How are we now?
There we go. We're good. We're good.
Okay, good, because I can't have these nice visuals and I can't see what I'm talking about. All right, perfect. So all of this happened as a result of networking, connecting with some creators. We did this project. So don't think of networking as only something like that super business specific for you to do and be active at. It goes beyond just business. It goes to creativity, it goes to community, it goes to minor projects. So just think about that when thinking of networking. Now, first things first, what exactly about networking you want to improve? And the first thing of this is that you have to first be marketable. So before you even step out to say, okay, I'm going to this networking event or I need to reach out to this person, who are you? And these are some questions that you have to ask yourself. So first thing, who are you? As a part of being marketable, what do you represent? Why should I take the time out of my day to answer this message from you? Why should I take the time out of this day to accept a virtual coffee, connect with you? Who are you? Who you be? And a big part of this is so important because we all know that a big part of interaction is the fact that first impression lasts. So you reach out to somebody, the first thing they probably do is research who you be. If you send me an Instagram DM, may I look on your profile to see who you be. If your profile lock, bye. If you send me a message from LinkedIn, I'll go on your profile to scroll and say, And that's something I do as a process of elimination when I'm doing my weekly Tuesdays Connect. So I have this Tuesdays Connect where every Tuesday I speak to any young marketer who might send me an email or send me a Twitter or send me a DM or whatever, and I set some time and I connect. I look at them, I look at who they are. I see that you're a marketing student, you want to improve your marketing skills. All right, then sure, let's have a 30-minute conversation and see whatever it is that I can help you with. Who are you? So you have to know who you are before you approach other people. What does your brand represent? Sometimes we think of brand as this corporate thing like, oh my God, Coca-Cola, Grace Kennedy, NCB. You are a brand. And you have to treat yourself as such. What do you represent as an individual? What ideologies do you have? And these are some things that you have to go into deep into. You're looking at working at a specific workplace. What are the ideologies of that workplace? Does that workplace believe in something or practice something that you don't? As a part of your networking, you need to know what's happening there. You know, you may believe firm, you may have a firm belief in you know, you don't like animal cruelty, but then you want to go work somewhere where is a fur coat a meet you the moment you walk in. Does that represent your ideology before you even start networking with the marketing manager or the HR manager there to see if you can get a possible employment? These are some fundamental things you have to cover. Where are you visible? I don't want to dopey message me to tell me that them want meeting. You send me one message on your profile lock or you're not a headshot on your LinkedIn or who you be? And sometimes you have to think about these things before you even take the step to network with anybody. Because people in networking, people also want to know what you can give them. What benefit do you bring to them? And that's one of the main reasons that surround effective networking. So who you be? What does your brand represent? And where are you visible? Let us look at one of the second steps. Establish purpose of networking. I don't know why I have food pictures there. I never change them out, but I'm going to try and be creative and talk about food. All right. So establish purpose of networking, which means, all right, then why do you want to connect with somebody, right? What exactly is the main reason of me reaching out to Jason? Okay, I see Jason as somebody who is doing great work for young professionals seeking jobs. All right. I'm now in first year, and I want to prepare for the next 2 years of school so that when I leave, I can know what to do. So I'm going to send Jason a message for some advice. How do I do this thing? Say, establish why you want network. Because the last thing you want to do is you don't want to reach out for an opportunity to get to know somebody with the intentions of learning more from that person, and you don't know why you are establishing that purpose of networking. You know what I mean? By the way, this presentation is going to be so funny because I never change out the pictures. I know you might see random pictures with the statements. This is so cool. But you have to establish the purpose of networking. Why do you want to network? And when I say why do you want to network, what exactly it is that you want to learn? What are some of the crowds you want to be in? What are some of the audiences you may want, access to? And why you want to do it? You can't just get up and say, oh, I want a job. And that's the reason why I want to network. You want a job for how long? You want a job in what industry? Because that now allows you to eliminate who you need to network with. If you want to go into tourism, why would you network with an engineer? I mean, off the top, because you might have an engineer that works in the tourism industry, which is more specific. But thinking industry level and an audience level, why do you want to network to solve whatever problem it is that's there? You may be new, you may be a new sales agent, and you want to get an opportunity to kind of figure out how sales work. What are the operations of sales? What are the fundamentals of sales? How do you close a cold email? How do you convert a lead? And you establish why you want to network, and you connect with other individuals who are in the field, in the space. You join communities. I'm going to talk about communities in a little, but guys, you have to know why you want to network with somebody. So we mentioned you being visible, being marketable. I will mention what exactly it is that you want to network for. What value do you bring? You want to partner with me. You want to collaborate with me. How you help me? And this is an important part of when you look at even how, brands and businesses choose people to partner with as a part of ambassadorial duties, brand partnership duties, because it should be symbiotic. Nike never just, let me try not be controversial. Let me use an example. Nike didn't just get up and say, oh, we're going to sponsor Sha'Carri, because we just want to sponsor Sha'Carri. No, Sha'Carri known excitement. So the value that Nike gets from partnering with Sha'Carri is that she bring over excitement to them. People may hate it, people may love it, but sometimes bad news is also good PR. So you look at symbiotic relationship between parties when it comes down to establishing value. And that's so important, because you have to, it's a win-win situation, and you have to ensure that whatever it is that you're doing with the person that you're networking with also enhances their brand. So you see somebody who is doing great, you see somebody who is a great HR practitioner, and you want to learn from this person. The person doesn't have a LinkedIn. The person has a LinkedIn, but the person doesn't have an Instagram or don't use Twitter or anything like that. And you are a social media, you have like a social media knowledge, and the person working in HR, and you feel like, oh my God, I can learn so much from this person. But what if I pitch to them that, hey, let me help you with your social media for a month? You can only imagine the answer you'd get, because you're bringing a value to that person. They're now diversifying their channels, where they are now using a platform that they don't know about, but you're learning from them, and they're learning from you, and you're bringing value to them. So what value do you bring as a part of the networking conversation? So many times we want to network and connect with people, but what value do you bring? And we get it that not every single networking activity will be of value to the person, but if you can at least, even come with something to say, listen, if you give me this opportunity to network with you or connect with you, I promise that, in 3 months, I'm aiming to do this. And so you can even find tactical ways to show that you are really much invested in networking and the value that you are going to bring in the long run. But off the top, you have to consider so many of these things. What value do you bring? Why do you want to network? We're not going to look at building a community. Okay, these pictures are appropriate because you're showing people. But building a community, and this is so important, because it is like the talk of what's happening right now. Community building, community management, the importance of connecting with the right people, the importance of connecting with people with shared values. And this talks about community building, because community also feeds into networking. When we're looking at community, we're looking at leaving a memorable impact. You're also looking at finding those communities that you want to join. And when we look at leaving a memorable impact, we're talking about what exactly are you doing in your community through networking that only adds to the overall bottom line of you becoming an expert at what you do. Are you becoming a thought leader in what you do? Are you becoming an influencer in what you do? But all of this rests on the importance of networking. In building communities, you're finding people who have shared values. You're finding people who are able to help uplift and build you. Last year during the pandemic, I joined Twitter. I had Twitter like a couple of years ago, and I came off, and I joined back Twitter last year. And people ask me, oh my God, how did you build your following back in over a year to over 2,000 people or 3,000 people or whatever? And a big part of it was building community through networking. When I just joined Twitter, I heard about this thing called marketing Twitter, and I looked at the hashtag, and I found people who are other marketers, and I started talking to them. 2 tools, we have a marketing community in Jamaica. Connect with people who I never met, and we did a campaign as a part of the elections last year. We built this whole community around it. We're able to share content, share it, talk about it. And I felt a part of that community because through networking, I connected with other marketers. 1 year later, and a couple months later, we still have our group chat, and we still talk. We share opportunities with each other. I've gotten brand partnerships out of this networking opportunity. And this is all because of building and joining communities. So you have to identify communities, and you have so many accessible tools that can help to build communities. You have social media, you have email listings, you have LinkedIn, you have Discord, you have so many different things that you can use to find like-minded people. For those who use Facebook, you have Facebook groups. And it's critical for you to establish the following or the that you want to build, and do that. When you're talking about networking, you want to ensure that you are a part of different movements, so that when job opportunities come up, you are top of mind. Whether it is that you're part of a police youth club, or you're part of a youth group, or you're part of a church youth group, somebody in every single gathering that you have some value that can only enhance your experience and enhance how you network and connect. I've networked with people through being a part of different initiatives that land me so many job opportunities. And it's not like, these are things that I thought of. They happen as a result of proper networking. So I hope you understand that you don't just look at networking as something that's a business bottom line. Get rid of that thought and look at networking as an overarching personal building thing, whether it is it's going to lead you into employment, whether it is that's going to lead you into better collaborations, which can lead to employment and profitability, or whether it is going to lead you into community building, which leads to employment, which leads to so many other things. So it's important for us to bear that in mind when networking, building communities. So we looked at being marketable. We looked at why you want to network, and we looked at building communities. There's a video here that I want to show, which I found very cool by Indeed.com, which is one of the #1 portals for career placements and stuff. And I'm going to play this for you right now. First of all, are you guys hearing the audio?
No, we're not. No.
No audio. All right, let me try and get that started here. But yeah, it's so important for you to establish these different initiatives and areas of focus, because that's the only way you'll be able to properly do this. You guys can let me know if you hear the audio.
It's a skill that's acquired.
Perfect.
Research shows that referrals are a top source.
Let me just start back from beginning and put it on full screen.
It's a skill that comes easy to some, but for tons of networking. It's a skill that comes easy to some, but for tons of people, myself included, it's a skill that's acquired. Research shows that referrals are a top source of hires, meaning those personal relationships, they can really pay off. So we're revealing the secrets of networking and answering the question we've all asked at some point. Is who you know more important than what you know? For years, athletes have used science and data analysis to improve. Now, we are doing the same for job seekers everywhere. This is job science. When it comes to networking and social events, there is nothing wrong with going alone. Putting yourself in a position to talk to new people, it's actually a good thing. You never know who you'll meet, who they might know, or how they can contribute to finding your next job. Meet Jess, a retail sales associate. She's attending her first ever Fashion Career Expo. A cool way to break the ice in a group setting is by wearing something that pops. It makes for a good conversation starter.
Hey, I love your shoes.
Thank you, I just got them. I'm Jess.
Ria. Nice to meet you.
Be yourself. That is the most important thing here. There's no need to try to be someone else or someone you're not. If you're looking to start an authentic relationship, it's key to ask about the other person first.
So what brings you here?
I'm actually a buyer.
I'm a sales associate.
Cool, so...
Ah, the head tilt. This is the universal sign that says, I'm listening, purely through body language. And while you are listening, do so empathetically and with curiosity about the other person's career.
Ben.
Oh, Jess recognizes someone. That is what happens when you research your connections. This can help you focus your energy on talking to the right people.
I haven't seen you since we worked together. How are you?
I'm great. I'm actually managing another boutique not too far from here.
Once you've made a genuine connection, feel free to bring up the topic of jobs, even if it doesn't come up naturally in the conversation.
Hey, do you happen to need any sales associates or stylists even?
Let's pause here. The brain can actually detect confidence in another's voice. Jess, she's definitely feeling herself. Smooth.
I'm looking.
Oh, yeah, I'll pass along your info. You have any business cards?
Yeah.
It's always good to have your business card and resume on you, especially at these kinds of things, but only give them out when asked for.
Ria. Ben, this is Ria.
Nice. You know, once in a while, think of people you know who should know each other but don't, and then introduce them. Follow up to see if their meeting was worthwhile. This one's all about paying it forward. This was the breakdown of networking. Till next time.
All right, let me just get this back here. So I think my screen went. Let me just get this back up. But we've seen the immense value in networking, and that short piece right there just now, focused on how we body language, everything plays such a critical role in that. But most importantly, you saw how they looked at the different areas and aspects of networking. A really nice video by Indeed.com, but also looking at how, you remember that very first thing I said when I came in, talking about the fact that you don't know who is who. So you have to be so careful about certain conversations you have, because you saw the young lady reintroducing two pals one that she just met, the other one that she knew from before. And that's networking in a nutshell. So sometimes we jinx ourselves because we forget that people know people. And a big part of networking and recommendation has to do with how you interact and connect with other folks. So that was just a really pretty good example for you to use. Now, I really hope you were able to learn from those nuggets of advice that I just dropped a while ago. Networking is quite an important and interesting thing. It's very critical as a part of job hunting. It's very important as a part of just general community building. And I'm very happy to have hopped in and shared some of these examples with you. You guys can connect with me at Corp Eccentric across all my socials, Twitter, Instagram. I share a lot about I'm a huge marketing and creativity person. So I share a lot of content along that line and conversations along that line. So you can connect with me there. And now I'm going to open for some questions. I think we can take 3 questions. Jason, you can let me know based on the presentation scope.
Sure, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
All right, do I go in the chat? Let me just stop sharing my screen for now. And by the way, Jason, you can always share this presentation with everybody. If that's, I'm totally fine with that. Except you'll see like food beside something that might not make any sense. But I think I'll go in, yeah, I can take some questions now. I see Sakina. Thank you, Joel. This was informative. I love that. Oh, you could afford to pay me for it. That's funny. But yeah, all right. So I see 2 questions. I see one from Leandra Wilson. What are some tips on building your confidence level? Leandra, excellent question. One of the most important things you have to understand is you have to know you, right? And when I say you have to know you, I'm talking about your values, what you love to do, why you do what you do, and why you are the way you are. And it's important to have those kind of understanding, because it helps you to then create a foundation as to how other interactions will be. So people can tell you all sorts of formula about confidence building. I need to sit up and walk. Confidence starts with you. And you see, once you accept yourself for who you are and do what you do because you love it, concerns become less. And in this world of networking, you just have to be a straight shooter about what you want. Sometimes, we overthink and we're afraid of hearing no's and we're afraid of what other people might think about initiatives that we have. There's constructive criticism in everything. Sometimes I come up with some ideas and I think it's a brilliant thing, and I run it to my best friends group and they're like, that is foolishness. And then I'm like, oh God. And then I try to figure it out and make it better. But you have to love what you do. You have to love yourself. You have to be very direct and intentional about different things that you put out there. And that helps a lot with confidence building, because nobody knows you like yourself. And that's one of the top of the line main things that I can definitely recommend where that is concerned. Hope that helps you, Leandra. I see another one coming from Shanani. How do you navigate networking through anxiety? This is a big one. As much as I want to see me here a talk and a chat, I have subtle social anxiety, because sometimes you don't even know how to start a conversation with somebody. So I was even talking to my friend the other day, and I'm like, I want to be that type of person who, like, if I go in the bar and I sit down in a restaurant and I'm sitting by myself and I see somebody, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? I will not do that ever. And I'm trying to work on it. I'm really trying to work on it, because I'm better in a space where I know people, or I know that everybody is gathered here for a common ground. So don't beat up yourself too much where that is concerned. However, being anxious about certain things can definitely throw off your game, but it helps when you know what you are going after and why. You know what I mean? For example, you might like photography, and you might you have anxiety as a part of your being, but you might like photography and you really want to improve something along the lines of photography, and you reach out to a photographer. You may be very nervous at first, but you really want to learn this thing. And the more you put the reason behind what you're doing and have a good approach, it may help with being anxious with networking. So that's also super important to pay attention to. I think I can take another one here. Let me scroll down here. Do you know of upcoming marketing conferences or webinars, networking events that you would recommend? I'm speaking at a Kingston Creative Workshop on Saturday. We only have 30 spots available. I think probably 20 gone by now. You can go on my social media. I tweeted it last night. You can register for that. That's going to be a really good one to talk about brand management and networking in general. There's another one. What about introversion and networking? I have noticed that my friends who partied back in college are better off career-wise. How can I be true to my introversion but still network? How can I rebrand? Great question, Tawana, because I don't go to parties. So the good thing about this is a big part of networking also considers the fact that you might have grown up with people, or you have a group of friends or a big group of people and people are extroverts. I'm an ambivert, so I'm in between an extrovert and an introvert. I love my own time, at least 24 hours. If I could have my time to myself 24 hours, I'd love that. But that's just not life. That's not life, So in terms of working with that, again, similar to the answer I gave earlier, ensure that you have the intentions behind why you want to network and connect. It works better. It translates better. And it also helps to eventually build your knowledge base and expertise so that when you move forward now for further connections and networking opportunities, you at least have some grounds covered from before. So one of my really closest friends, she's the biggest introvert I know, but she connects intentionally. So she's a copywriter and she hates social media. I'm like, my girl, you're so talented. Why you need to post? She's like, Joel, I'm just not interested. But guess what happens? She secure her bag same way because she connect with the right people. So she'll go on LinkedIn, she look at opportunities, she connect with people, and she'll do her work. But she's an introvert, but she's still secure in the bag. You know what I mean? So she also wants to work on some degree of a rebrand. So this question is so timely. And she has been creating her website and doing some work, but she is super, super introverted. But she still manages to get things done because she is focused on why. I'll take one more question. There's one coming in from Ryan. How do you go about building a personal brand identity in the corporate space when cancel culture proliferates among Gen Z and millennials on social media? Focus on you, Ryan. Focus. Trust me. Social media is a mess. Digital media is a mess. If you guys following up with Facebook and cancel culture and all of stuff, focus on yourself and stay in your lane. So for example, me, I not talk about none else on Twitter or nowhere else if it's not marketing, creativity, youth development, diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. Majority of my content is along the lines of corporate. That's why my name corporate eccentric, which means corporate in the corporate sense, eccentric meaning different. So you now catch me like a jacket speaking at an event. Because that's just me. But I managed to build that personal brand. Yeah, Jason, I see you, but yeah. But that's just me. And that part helps with my personal brand building, because if people see me on the road and them because I wear very elaborate pants, that's a part of my brand. So if you see me, you just have to always say me look good because that's just my brand. Even the pants ugly, but that's just me. You know what I mean? But not to divert from your suggestion in terms of building a personal brand identity. Just focus. You have to be so focused on who you are and what you're doing. You have to be super, super, super focused on that. And cancel culture will always exist. And not everybody's going to like what you do. I remember last year, I launched this hashtag on Twitter called #by23. And I was encouraging people to share what they would have accomplished by the age of 23. And it was kind of, celebrating when we had just gotten our youngest senator, Gabriela Morris, at 23. Thousands of people started to share what they accomplished. Yendi Phillips shared by 23, she would have won Miss Jamaica World and Miss Universe Jamaica and done her. So people were using the hashtag. And of course, people were like, by 23, I was in a bad place and I was, on the brink of committing suicide. And then some people were cussing me because they're like, look how you trigger people. While other persons were telling me, Joel, I saw your tweet and I think it was good. I battle with mental health and I decided to come off Twitter. So, those I could get as constructive. And right after that, I did a mental health campaign with some folks, because I'm like, that's something important to also talk about. But not everybody's going to be in agreement. What you do, I launched another hashtag a couple weeks ago called hashtag my coconut stand, because the girl did say Jamaica, somebody make a remark that Jamaicans walk towards them coconut stand. I'm gonna create one hashtag, people start to use it and share them travel picture. People had a problem with it. I don't care. You get what I say? So you have to focus, because people will find some really weird things to cancel people. But if you know what you're about, what you represent, what you are destined towards, it becomes less interesting to focus on what cancel culture is. Gen Z is a whole new generation coming. I'm excited to know about them and learn from them. I think they really celebrate a completely different way of looking at things. And it's just important to kind of keep focused. I'm going to answer one last one, Jason, if that's fine. I'm looking for passive income. I'm going to talk about money. I'm looking for passive income. Any tips? Christina, identify what your talents and skill sets are. Very important. I work a 9 to 5. I head brand and digital, social and digital for a corporate company. And I also do a lot of side things. I host, I partner. There are certain brands that I partner with them. I'm not all over the place. But I have certain brand partnerships that I maintain. For example, I partner a lot with the Jamaica Tourist Board and several of their initiatives, because that's in line with my personal brand. I love Jamaica. I believe in brand Jamaica, as much as though sometimes we just can't bother, but I still love my country. And a part of passive income is looking at your talents and identifying how it is that you can earn from these things. It also forms a part of how you can network with other people, because some of my friends who have a 9 to 5, they know me and they network with me, and I find opportunities for them because, their passion is painting or their passion is music engineering. And I know somebody will keep one staff event and I connect them. So passive income, a big part of that is understanding what your talents are, what you can monetize, and also who you can connect with. Because sometimes some opportunities might come as a result of networking, as a result of exploring other things. So do that. Devante, I see that you see you're a dope poet. That's really good as well. But I really hope I was able to answer some of these questions. I see somebody asked what's my Twitter name. It's @corpeccentric. Let me just leave it in the chat. This is my Twitter and my I think I just sent a message to Deborah in private. 1 second. I don't know how I'll find back all or everyone in the meeting. But yeah, I think those are some of the nuggets I want to leave with you guys. And go forth, be great, and continue to network. Build community, network, identify why you want to build a community, identify why you want to network. Don't look at networking as something to only get you a job, because if you start thinking about passive income and side hustle and creative projects and collaboration, networking is a huge thing to consider, not just to say, oh, I want to go work at this, I want to go work at Grace, I want to go. Look at it as an overall standpoint, because sometimes as well, you may network for a job and you don't get the job, but the person that you met own one painting store and you're one painter, and because she know you're a painter and the strike up a conversation, you don't know what can happen. So look at networking as a broad term, as a catalyst for personal brand building, and you will do well. All right. Thanks again, Jason, for having me. Thank you so much for being attentive. Everybody for being so attentive. This was amazing. This is one of the best presentations I've done since the year. About probably 4, but this is the best one.
Thank you so much, Joel. In the chat, just give some claps. Just the reference, give him some claps. This was so amazing, so amazing, and we appreciate it so much. Before you go, I'm gonna ask Natalia White just to come in right now. Let me just add her right here. All right. And she will just be giving the vote of thanks.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Voila.
Yes, we can.
Hi. So I would like to extend a big thank you to you, Joel, for providing your time and your expertise. As always, you know how I feel about you. What you've shared has been so valuable and beneficial to not only myself, but I feel like everybody here has learned a little bit more on how to put themselves forward and put the best foot forward. I personally loved how you use networking to start the initiative of Black Kings Rising. You know, it's such an important thing for men in our community, and also just sharing various ways of connecting and finding communities through social media. You know, so many great, valuable tips were shared. You know, I wrote them down. And the biggest thing is for me and everyone to not just look at networking as a business, but also a way to connect. And again, I just want to thank you for blessing us with this great presentation.
You're most welcome, Natalia. By the way, Natalia and I connected like last week or 2 weeks ago, and we networked. And yeah, and I'm watching the growth, and I'm just excited for the future projects and collaborations to come. But thank you so much, Natalia. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalia. And thank you so much, Joel. Thank you. I cannot repay you for this. And thank you so much for believing the vision and coming on to support. So before we go to the virtual job fair, the breakout rooms, we have, and I want to get this right, we have let me get the title right. We have the Honorable Alanda Terrelong, who is the State Minister for the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. And at this time, he's going to just come on in and give us a quick greeting. Minister, over to you.
Hi, morning, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Not bad at all, not bad at all. You know, I saw you on, I think it was CVM. Was it CVM you're on, or was it TVJ?
It was CVM.
See, I was right. Okay, good. You see, you have to trust your instincts, you know. So I saw you on CVM, and of course, I would have seen your plugs on Instagram as well. And let me tell you, kudos to you and your entire team. I think you're doing an amazing job, you know, and having worked with you in the past, I recall when you were at JC and, you know, doing in terms of the robotics and everything else, and just how phenomenal you were. And you genuinely have a passion for youth and youth development. And I think that this is just another step in the right direction of your assistance to our young persons, you know. So, I mean, help them to secure that bag, you know, get the job and secure the bag, you know, talk about empowerment. So listen, big up yourself and to all your recruiters. You know, I mean, listen, you know, I have to say, Digicel is always on board, no matter what. I mean, special needs, sports, entertainment, Digicel is always on board. So I'm happy to see that Digicel is listed amongst your recruiters. I think Sagicor is also listed as well. So, you know, because the team from Sagicor, you know, and Talent Box Jamaica or Talent Box Caribbean, which was it? Remind me, I know I saw, is it Talent
Caribbean? Talent Box Caribbean.
Talent Box Caribbean, excellent, because you know is one CARICOM, you know, a lot of young persons, they perhaps have reservations about the whole notion of CARICOM, but I'm sure with Talent Box Caribbean, you know, we can get some placements in Trinidad and you know, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Antigua, all these beautiful islands down the east, you know. So listen, congrats to you. And of course, you know, big up all your participants, you know, young persons who are online right now, and those who will hear about it at some point, maybe later today or in the coming weeks, you know, listen, trust the process. You know, I always tell persons, the sky is not the limit. It is but a pathway to an endless opportunity of success that's waiting for you. You know, and one such avenue is being able to find, you know, to find that connection, that network with persons like a Jason Brown, who can help you to get a job and just to continue, you know, to place yourself in a better position for the future. And finally, before I go, Jason, I have to tell your viewers and your participants as well that, listen, you see, with COVID, all right, a whole heap of space is going to open up in the work world because you have some people who don't trust the science. You know, I mean, I tell you, you know what? If Jamaicans believed in the vaccine the way they believe in Obia, conspiracy, and visa, we'd be far better off on the vaccination trail. Like, let me tell you that. And you can quote me on that. Because it's true. You know, and the time we take getting involved in a whole bunch of other things and not focusing on our health, you know, and also the continued development of our country, because we can't go very far without the vaccination process. And, you know, Jamaica is barely at 12%. And in the job market, if you're not vaccinated, you're not going to get the jobs that you want. You know, as a member of parliament, Jason, I had one young man down for the farmer program, you know, down for the farmer program. And you know what his mother did? His mother tell him, say, "Any him go take the vaccine. Him can't live in our house because she not live with no demon because the vaccine is the mark of the beast." So he's now he can't get an opportunity to go away to work for 6 months, work some hard currency, and make a better life for himself and his family. You know, so those are some of the things that we're contending with. So listen, big up your participants, and I hope they all get vaccinated so they can claim those spots. And all who don't want to get vaccinated and lose on the work over because, well, whatever your belief is, I mean, big up, kudos to you. Or you don't want to do your routine testing, the space is there, and Jason will help you guys find the spaces. So get that job, secure the bag. Blessed love, big up on yourself.
Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you so much. And yes, we are here to help you get that job. So at this point, and again, thank you, Minister, for coming by. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. We are 250 strong. Oh my Lord, the numbers are growing. The numbers are growing. If you want to invite your friend to come and join, send the link, give them the code and the passcode. Let's make it happen. So at this time, unfortunately, the fun will even get funner. It will get a little bit more festive on our side, but I'm going to be ending the stream on YouTube at this time to facilitate the breakout rooms for the actual job fair. So to all the YouTube viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And I did post the Zoom ID and password in the chat, so please feel free to come on over and get the job. If you're looking for a job, get the job. I know Talent Box Caribbean sent me a list of jobs last night, and I mean, they're hoping to fill all those vacancies today in real time. So jobs are here. So I'm going to end the stream right now. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.